Hello and welcome back to ENG, and this video is about how to change a WH question from direct speech to indirect speech. Before we get into the video, kindly share this video to those who may find it useful. How to change direct speech to indirect speech. That is the interrogative sentences and the interrogative sentences, the WH question. Before we change the WH question into the indirect speech, we have to see the connector for the WH question. The connector for the WH question is the same WH word. We will understand this better when we see the examples. Let us get into the examples. The first example, the man said to the boy, "Where is your house?" This is the reporting part, and we have the listener here. The listener is the boy. Since we have the listener, the said to will be changed to told. Now, in the reported part, where is your house? Here we have this where, and this is the WH word. We have to use the same WH word when we change from the direct speech to indirect speech. Where is your house is the present tense. Is this the present tense? And this present tense will be changed to the past tense. The past tense for is was. Now, let us see what the indirect speech is. The man asked the boy where his house was. Now, the man, since it is an interrogative sentence, it is a question, and since that we use asked. The man asked the boy where his house was. When we change the direct speech, that is the interrogative sentence, to a declarative sentence, we change the place of the noun and the verb. So it becomes like where his house was. The next sentence, Ram said to Kumar, "When are you coming?" Here, Ram said to Kumar, we have the listener, and so said to will be changing to asked because this is an interrogative sentence. So said to will change to asked. Now, this is the reported part, and when is the WH question, so we use the same connector. We remove this punctuation and we use the same connector. When are you coming? So this is the present continuous tense. The present continuous tense will change to past continuous tense. So are will change to was. Now let us see. Ram asked Kumar when he was coming. So the indirect speech will end with a full stop. The next example. Mother said to me, "Where did you stay?" Mother said to me. Me is the listener. So said to will change to asked because this is an interrogative sentence. Now, where is the connector? We use the same WH word as the connector. Now, we have to remove this punctuation. Now, where did you stay? Did is the past tense. Past tense will change to past perfect tense. Where did you stay? Will the past perfect tense for did is had, and for stay the past participle is stayed. Now let us see what the indirect speech is. Mother asked me where I had stayed. The next example. Master said to his students, "When shall we start the practice?" Now, master said to his students, we have the listener, and said to will change to asked. When is the WH word, and this will be used as the connector. Now we remove this punctuation. When shall we start the practice? The shall. It is a modal verb. We don't use shall in all the places, so we may use could or would. Let us use could. Now, let's see the indirect speech. Master asked his students when they would start the practice. It ends with a full stop. The next sentence. He said to Roger, "How will you come?" Here we have the listener, Roger, and so since said to will change to asked. So he asked Roger. We remove this punctuation. How is the WH word, and this becomes the connector here. Will you come? Will change to would. Now let us see. He asked Roger how he would come. It ends with a full stop. Next sentence. Doni said to his team, who will join me? So we have the listener. So said to will change to asked. Doni asked his team, who will join me? So who will be the connector here? And we remove this punctuation. Let us see the indirect speech. Doni asked his team who would join him. Will change to would. Next sentence. Priya said to me, why haven't they come? Now Priya said to me is the listener. Said to will change to asked. We remove this punctuation and why will be the connector. Haven't will change to hadn't. Haven't is present perfect. Present perfect will change to past perfect. Now let us see the indirect speech. Priya asked me why they hadn't come. The next example. Dad said to his son, who are your friends? So dad said to his son is the listener. So said to will change to asked. Dad asked his son, we remove this punctuation and who will be the connector. Are will change to the past tense where your friends. Now let us see the indirect speech. Dad asked his son who his friends were. The next example. The station master said to the passengers whose bags these are. The station master said to the passengers. Passengers is the listener. So said to will change to asked. Are will change to where and these will change to those. Now let us see the indirect speech. The station master asked the passengers whose bags those were. It ends with a full stop. The next example. They asked me, whom are you searching for? Me is the listener and already it is given as asked, so we use the same asked. We remove this punctuation and we use whom as the connector. Are is present tense and present tense will be changed to the past tense. The past tense for are is where. Now the indirect speech. They asked me whom I was searching for. It ends with a full stop. Well friends, let us understand the ways to change the yes or no questions from direct speech to indirect speech in the next video. Please subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.